going on? How's everyone doing?
Shout out to Colin. Everybody else who's cool with Colin.
Chunky! I didn't say.
Eat your popcorn and your Coca-Cola and relax.
Anyway, tell Colin I'm ready.
Oh, what's going on? This is Colin. How's everybody doing? Hope you guys are having a great night so far. I've got a very special guest tonight. Very special guest. Someone who I just out of nowhere decided to invite. And I think it's going to be a great addition to the video. Everybody, please welcome my dad.
Hello, everybody.
Hi. How are you doing today, Dad?
I'm doing fine, thanks. Thanks for letting me come on tonight.
Yeah, sorry, I had to turn my phone on silent. That was rude. That was very rude of me. Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for joining me, everybody. This is my dad. Would you like to introduce yourself, or do you want me to introduce you to the group?
Go ahead.
Okay, so this is my dad. We are going to be watching a real estate case tonight. It's an HOA, and my dad has a little experience in real estate, so I decided, you know what, this is probably a good video to bring you up, introduce you to the community. So thank you so much for joining me tonight.
You're welcome. Thanks for inviting me. I'm looking forward to this. Homeowners associations are pretty regular, but they also are pretty usually not run very well. So I'm looking forward to seeing what this video does.
All right. Okay. That's all I have as an intro. Judge Fletcher. All right. Introduce my dad. You want me to give him? You want me to give the accolades? All right. So my dad ran his own real estate business for pretty much my entire life. And so he's my go-to expert when it comes to real estate. And yeah, so besides that,
we owned and operated at about a $50 million portfolio, about 750,000 square feet in the Cincinnati market. We were on the east side and one of the top real estate developers on that side of town.
There you go. See, I don't have to. I know I wouldn't have to. But this is my dad, everybody. You can see his name. He's definitely not Cromwell. Now you actually know what my real last name is. I knew that was going to come out eventually, but bringing him up, now you know that I'm definitely not a Cromwell. That's a funny story I need to tell you later, Dad. But
all right.
we won't go through the story here, but yeah, I'm definitely not Cromwell because someone didn't know how to read well.
I'm sure that everybody's not here because of your name.
I don't know. It's a pretty sweet name. All right. Let's watch the video. Dad, thank you so much for joining us. All right. I always forget what I'm supposed to say. Before I hit that play button, you know what to do. Hit the like and subscribe. Do your jump kick backflips. Let's go.
There we are. We're back on record and live streaming and on record here at Thurston County District Court. And Mr. Begier, why don't you come on up and find a table?
Which side would you like?
I don't care. It's up to you. Not a crush here. Taking up a couple of cases where Mr. Begier has filed small claims, 37351 and 37352. We'll kind of figure out what all these they're the same claim or what. But I mean, I'm looking, everyone, so you know, I'm looking at my file, which is electronic. Thanks. And so I'm looking back and forth between screens, and I am listening, but I'm also looking here at what I've got. Let's see. Okay. So first things first.
Dad, I can see your eyes going back and forth on the screen. If you ever want to make a specific comment, you can just tell me to pause and I'll pause it.
Okay, so I'm seeing these comments to me. I was going to respond. How do you do that?
Go ahead. You can just tell me to pause. You can type your answer, or you can just tell me to pause. If you have a comment that you want to respond to, go ahead.
No, you don't need to pause it. Not for this. I was just going to say thanks.
Well, yeah. All right. MB, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. You raised a great son, Dad. Hey, I'm a great son, Dad.
You are a great son.
This is gonna be fun. Let's go. But yeah, if you want me to pause it, you can see the chat going. You can see where you can actually type in the chat at the bottom of it. You can type your own answers, or if someone says something to you that you want to respond verbally to, just tell me to pause and I'll pause it. But I do want to let you know there is, outside of MB being awesome and super chatting. MB, again, thank you so much. This is Judge Fletcher. Judge Fletcher is out of Harris County, Texas, and that is where Marielle and Adeline live. So he is a good friend of mine, and he hangs out with us a lot. But he is actually a sitting judge in the county that Mariella and Adeline live.
Okay. So if I hit join the chat, it says connect.
Just hit it. See what happens. What's the worst that's going to happen?
Okay. It says put an email in. I don't want to do that.
You got to connect to your Gmail email address to be able to type.
All right. I'll just skip that.
All right. Yeah. You can just get that. All right. Let's keep going.
All right.
First, let me put everybody under oath. So, Mr. Begier, I'm going to have you stand up with me and raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. Have a seat. And let's see, I've got several folks on the other side. Mr. Rahala, are you there? Yes, you are.
Yes, I am.
To raise your right hand with me, Mr. Rahala. Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, I do.
Okay, and then I've got Bobby Anderson, is it? You'd unmute. Raise your right hand with me. Need to unmute. You get unmuted. There you go. All right, raising your right hand. I can't see you. Maybe you need to scooch to your left. You slide to your left there. Okay, that's better. Raising your right hand. Miss Anderson, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Can't hear you. Okay.
I do.
And then, thank you. We have Miss Henyon at one point. There you are with Viz Group. Okay, raising your right hand, Ms. Henyon, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right. John Naughton. Got John Naughton here. Sir, if you'd raise your right hand with me. Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right. We've got everybody under oath here. So first off, there are a lot of people that you've named, Mr. Begier, and I have to just kind of figure out that. And a caveat here, this is small claims. If this gets to be wildly complex, you're in the wrong court, but we're going to find that out. Small claims is designed to be simple, designed to be not a complex case, designed to allow people to get into a court to get a resolution solved in a couple of months, not a couple of years. That's why it's very limited. That's why we reduce the rules of evidence. That's why we reduce, but I can't do away with credibility. I can't do away with, are things authentic that you're handing? Are they corroborated evidence? I can't do away with the law on contracts. I'm guessing here is what it's about. I'm still trying to figure out, and I'll hear what it's about. But if it becomes an issue that I think is not appropriate for small claims, it may end it here. And if you think you've got something to do, you may have to file a civil lawsuit. Just a heads up. So first off, it gets to be complex when we have all these folks named as defendants. So I'm going to try and figure out, first off, Mr. Begier, why, maybe you can tell me.
Yes.
Just simply,
Pretty easy.
and obviously you've got a box full of papers, and I've looked at what I can from what you filed, but I look at this claim, why do you think somebody owes you $10,000?
Okay, I'm from California.
Yeah.
My son come here, it costs us $2,000 every time he comes here.
That doesn't
Okay.
matter.
Anyway.
What I want to know
Okay,
is why do you think somebody owes you $10,000?
This is a rental unit that we own.
Okay.
It's a small
So you
complex.
own this,
Yeah.
you still own something in the homeowners association.
Yes, there's 20 units in this complex, okay? We own one of them. There was water damage 2 years ago
Where?
into the unit, but it came in from the common area. You know the
Can you
difference?
tell me what the address is?
That's 2300 9th Avenue Southwest, Olympia, Washington, and A5.
And so it's a rental unit, it's a house,
It's a condo. Yeah,
Condo.
Townhouse, yeah.
townhouse.
Done.
Okay, so all right, so there was water damage at some point, and that was sometime in 2022?
2 years ago.
Okay,
I've been trying to get the money ever since. I sent multiple letters.
Stop. I just want to know what your claim is concisely, so I have a better idea what's going on
I
here.
know there's 10,000 limitations. I know that. I'm very happy.
So
with
you
that.
say somebody owes you $10,000, and they owe you that money because of water restoration
No,
repairs, so.
water damage from the common area. When you have a condo, common area is the complex. They have their own insurance.
I'm gonna wait a few minutes to pause it and explain this, because there's a lot that's gonna be said here. You know what? I'll explain it. So, this guy owns a condo. The guy at the table, top middle, he owns a condo. He suffered water damage from a common area of an HOA owned property. So he has the only property that was damaged. He didn't have his own personal insurance because he had the HOA insurance. The HOA insurance paid the property for the damage, but he didn't receive any money for it. So all the repairs that he did was out of pocket, and he is claiming he filed a lawsuit to get this money that the HOA received that he didn't receive. That's what's going on right now. But I will tell you, guy in the top middle, the condo owner, doesn't have the best court etiquette. He doesn't. So I'll just say that. And let's just keep going after that. Dad, you got anything to say?
Oh, did you ask me?
Yeah, do
Colin?
you have anything to say? You see the video. I sent you the video.
No,
before.
you summed it up pretty well. It's just this talks about some of the inefficiencies and how lousy these condo associations are run. They usually don't have a whole lot of they don't have a whole lot of expertise that's running them. They don't take care of the details, and there's some insurance questions that's going on here about whether or not the homeowners association is responsible for any of the units or just the common areas. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with all this.
That was perfect. It will be interesting. So let's see. Let's keep playing.
If it enters into our area, that's
Right.
another issue. It's the water protruded from the common area, not
All
our
right.
unit. So that's why it's not my insurance company.
Okay,
It's that insurance company. Okay.
so what I'm reading from your notice, your claim here, water restoration repairs, which was already paid to defendants by farmers. Defendants failed to
No.
pay plaintiff. I'm just reading your claim. So tell me, you're saying no, that's not your claim?
The claim is Randy, who's a sole HOA guy. It's not like a big complex, a lot of members. Okay. He's been renting it for 6-7 years, illegally actually. And what's happened is he got the check mailed to his house 2 years ago. Okay. For my damage. and he's never given it to me. He just plays a game. Figure out this guy's from California, he'll never do anything.
So you're saying that there was water damage, or it started in the common area of the condo,
Exactly.
and you believe, of course, that's covered by farmer's
Yeah,
insurance.
they came
you
out,
think?
the insurance company came out
Okay.
from the condo, from the HOA, which is Randy, again, so the complex, and protruded into our property. And
Okay,
that's why
so
they
what
have to take
happened
care of it.
in your property?
Okay, I restored it, spent $42,000. I have all the receipts and the contractors,
Do
everything.
you know that the limit here?
I know. I'm very,
Okay.
very happy with that. Okay.
I
wanna
mean,
get it
even
done.
if you prove your claim,
But
you're not gonna get
For digital
$42,000.
economy, I can do this fast track for you. I have a letter from an attorney from
Okay.
them just a few days ago.
Mhm.
I accept their terms, except I do not, they want me to take, it was like
So you
27.
have some sort of settlement in the works.
No, but what they want me to do, they want me to suffer. I mean, I give them 2 years of this money free. Okay, the interest and
The answer to that question was yes. He received a letter from an attorney from the HOA saying, "Will you accept this money?" And he said no. That's a settlement in the works. They're
Are you asking me? You froze up. Colin? Colin, you froze up. I can't hear you.
started.
I
Oh,
lost you.
hey, there you go. You're back.
I don't know what
Yeah.
happened.
My internet is not the best here,
Oh, I see.
so the internet just dropped and it came back up. So
Okay.
now I have the amazing job.
You froze again. There you are.
Yeah, my internet does this a couple times a day. Usually it doesn't happen in the evening though. Dad, I'm so sorry. Everyone that's watching, Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
I'm going to lose my mind. I'm going to lose my mind.
You're all right.
No, my internet's just not. Can you still hear me?
I can still hear you. You're fine. You haven't froze up. I'll tell you when you freeze up, like you just did.
Now everybody knows why I don't turn my video on.
You're back
You
in.
doing okay, Dad?
I am. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm back for now. Hopefully it's only, that was it. Generally there's, when my internet hiccups, it hiccups for a couple minutes and then it's done. So hopefully that's it. Hopefully we can actually enjoy the rest of this stream. All right. Now I gotta find out where we were in the video because I didn't timestamp it when I got disconnected because I wasn't ready for it.
You paused it and asked me a question, but I didn't hear the question.
Yeah, I don't even remember what the question was. I don't remember where we were in this video. I really don't.
We were at the insurance of the, whether it was the inside the condo or the common areas.
Okay.
I'd say about, well, they signed a contract May 17, 2022. And when I did research, the association was dissolved at that period, at that time. Unbeknownst to me.
So it sounds like there's a lot of issues here. Whether this homeowners association existed on June 30th of 2022, whether there was damage and
But
whether
to check with the
owed.
Randy Rajala, where's the money? Let's follow the money.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Hidden Creek Homeowners Association. That sort of makes some sense, I wonder, but you're saying it didn't exist
He's the
when
only,
this happened.
he was the only guy. They just got the other two.
Dad, I'm just letting you know I'm still here. I just had to turn my camera off because it's going to help my internet. So hopefully that helps it from dropping again. But I am still here.
Okay. All right.
Just letting you know.
All right. Thanks.
Two members on recently. Okay.
The other two members, who the other?
Well, we got Rajala and Barbette. And Barbette's the secretary. So I'm trying to find, if I have a bill I need to get paid, you go to the secretary, right? I mean, treasurer, rather.
So it's, all right. So you're also suing Hidden Creek Homeowners Association, but.
Well, because he's solely the association. He just put them on board, and he just filed a recent document within a month ago, like his own conformity now.
So tell me where to look in your documents for that Secretary of State issue that you're talking about.
It's right here. It's called Corporation and Charities. I can give it to you. It's in your document as well.
Here, express annual report changes.
It's right here. The arrows are right there.
Yeah, I'm looking at your documents here. I'm not going to take a bunch of papers. So which one, what date? I've got one filed June 30th of 19. Is that not the one?
Yeah, I have a disillusion.
Okay, I'm just looking in your documents.
That's the one filed the July 1st, 21.
Okay.
And then I have
find that one. Okay. So I've
Okay,
got
the dissolution filed, wait a minute. I have it 11/3/21. That's where I get
All
that
right,
date.
looking at that administrative dissolution.
From the state of California, that's from the
As a
state.
result, all right, Secretary of State from Washington,
Right,
dissolved as of 11/3/21.
right. Not an entity.
Okay, and so then,
I just found out about this.
let's see, I've got some more information from the Secretary of State.
The filing system is right, it'll tell you.
So
Reinstatement?
11/3/21 administrative dissolution, 7/1 delinquent annual report, 5/1 annual report.
It's right in the filing I did online as well.
That's what I'm looking at.
Here it is right here. I have
Why don't you tell me what it is and I'll look for it
Okay,
here.
it's
What's the date filed? That helps.
okay, it says 7/20/2024. It's got the corporations and charities filing system, state of California. And on top of that, it has the where they reinstated it here on the date I just told you. So they reinstated it on July 19th, 2022.
Okay,
So they were down all that time.
all right.
They weren't even an entity. And the VIS group signed a contract to be their management company when they didn't even exist.
So you're suing Hidden Creek Homeowners Association as it exists now for something that happened when they didn't exist.
Well, Randy was taking all the money. We were sending all the money to Randy, okay?
So
He's the
let's move-
HOA.
let's move on to John Naughton.
It's fraudulent,
So
huh?
John Naughton, how is he? he's
I have to
been
talk to
sued.
him. I don't know where the money is because you have the treasurer and you have John and they won't say anything. There's no transparency. So I have to.
So kind of like Ms. Anderson, you need to talk to them. You call them as
Because
witnesses,
she's a
not
treasurer.
defendants.
She has the money. I figure a treasurer usually carries the money, right?
Okay. So, all right.
She's the treasurer.
Yeah, your
Let's
claim,
hear from
your
her.
claim is you don't know who you're suing. And it's clear you don't know because you need to do more research.
No.
and more information.
Rajala at the time was.
It's
was there.
clear to this board,
And
you don't know who
He
you're
has to check.
suing, and that's a basic.
And we have a letter from the attorney.
Let me move on to the other claim. Maybe I can, maybe that's gonna help clarify. So we're looking at 37352, and that's
Mayor, thank you so much for sharing that with us. Don't thank us. Well, thank you for the super chat, but yeah, thank you for sharing that moment of your life with us. So I appreciate that you let us in on that. So thank you, Mayor, and hopefully you're doing well, man. Hopefully you're doing well.
the one solely against Mr. Rahala. And you're
Correct.
claiming something different in your notice. I'm gonna bring that up.
Dad, you look like you have something to say.
I just wanted to let you know that I somehow cannot connect onto the chat box. So sorry, I'm not responding to any of these.
Yeah, I don't know. Without sitting there in front of you, I don't know what to tell you. Generally, you
Yeah,
just
look-
connect through a Gmail account, and it'll let you connect through it.
I
So I don't
I have connected, and it's telling me, it's giving me an error message that it's not my fault. They can't get me connected for some reason.
You want to back out and come right back in? That might work. If you want to read the chat, you can do that. That might work if you want to.
Yeah, I don't think it's necessary. It says an error occurred, but it's not your fault. Try again and contact us if this continues.
Yeah, it's definitely not your fault. It's probably my fault. It's probably my fault.
Well, even if it was my fault, I'd still blame you.
That's fair. That's fair. I would too. Now that I turned my camera on, my internet's probably going to drop out again. But let's let it ride as long as we can.
All right.
your notice rules what the parameters of this is.
Okay.
So
Do-
months reimbursement, HOA fees of dissolved Hidden Creek Association not authenticated by State of Washington
Exactly.
Secretary of State.
Exactly. I was just telling you about
So
that.
9 months reimbursement of HOA fees.
Yeah.
So, and Mr. Rahala, you're suing him individually for that?
I'm suing him for that. Yes, absolutely, because he was taking all the money in himself.
But you're claiming it's hidden.
No, that shouldn't matter, Twitchy. If he's backstage, he should be able to see the chat. The problem is you have to sign in through StreamYard, which then connects you to your Gmail account. And if you don't have that set up, which, Dad, you probably don't.
Well, let me go ahead and, okay, yeah, I'll go ahead and send the chat, fill this out. I can sign it in.
No, it's up to you. You don't have to.
Okay, all right.
It's
That doesn't hurt
completely
anything.
all right. Well, you can fill that out while we play the video.
All right.
Creek Association was,
He is the
Dissolved.
HOA. He is the association.
well, if it's dissolved,
I mean, that's.
there isn't one.
I know, but when I was looking at, I mean, I'm the man on the street. We're sending money to him. We would assume he's it.
So you want a reimbursement for fees because,
When a check went
didn't
actually to
associate-
his house and he cashed it, what does that say? Tell
all
you?
right, so 9 months of fees that you say you sent to Mr. Rahala in the thought that they were homeowners fees, and yet there wasn't a homeowners association.
Exactly. It was
Okay.
dormancy.
All
Not
right.
dormant, not dormancy, but it dissolved. Excuse me. It was dissolved, as you see there, from the state of California.
Well, state of California has nothing to do with Washington here on this. I don't know why you keep saying that.
Because you have to be registered with the state of California, and also he's a charities and
Who has
nonprofit.
to be registered
also.
with the state of California?
What's that?
Who has to be registered with the state
They
of
have to be
California?
the Secretary of State. You're just looking at the document.
This is Washington. This is a
Okay.
home in Washington.
Okay.
Washington law applies. I'm trying to
Okay.
understand why you keep talking about California.
No, I'm not talking about California. I'm talking about
You're misstating yourself.
yeah, I'm from
Okay.
California.
Washington.
I'm
Keep
from
thinking
California.
Washington. Washington.
I'm from California.
Okay, you're just misstating.
Exactly, yes.
But you keep saying California.
Yep.
That doesn't make any sense. Okay, so I'll take that. So you believe on this other claim, 37352, that Mr. Rahala personally owes you $3,000 because he took homeowners fees
For 9
when
months.
there wasn't a homeowner.
$325 times 9.
Okay, and you discovered when that this was July of 2022?
Yeah, this is right here. It's all of this from 11/3/2021 till 7/19/2022.
Okay, all right, so that's a little more clear.
That's
So
325.
let me, it's a little unusual, but I'm going to go back to 37351. I'm going to, just that issue of who you're suing and whether,
Well, they were
I'm
taking
going
them.
to talk to them. I'm going to, what their point of view is on.
but
And
be-
that's the only issue I'm taking right now to try and
But be
figure out
mindful,
if
I'm
you,
sending a
stop
check.
interrupting me,
All right,
sir.
sure, okay.
I'm telling you what I'm trying to
Okay,
do here to
sure.
clarify. This is, that you have a whole box full of documents.
That's right.
You filed a bunch of stuff here. It's not clear, and I'm trying to clarify. The first step is to figure out, well, one of the first steps, figure out who you're suing and if there's a basis for that. And if there is, we'll go forward on those
And they have
things,
their
but if
attorney-
not, stop interrupting. I know you have a lot to say, but it doesn't work if people interrupt each other. So I'm going to turn over first off on case 37351. Okay, what do we, who's representing Hidden Creek Homeowners Association among all these parties? Anybody here themselves representing Hidden Creek Homeowners Association or has that ability? And you're muted if you're talking because I can't hear you.
Your Honor, we have two of the board members present, Randy Rayala and John Naughton, and then VIS Group by extension is the management company. But I'm also
Okay.
here to represent
Back
VIS.
to Tanya, you're here. Mr. Kean was, if I'm saying that correctly, was listed as a defendant, but you're from Viz Group and you're allowed to bind Viz Group in litigation?
Yes, I have expressed and written permission from our CEO to represent VIS in this matter today.
Okay, so what relationship do you have to this Hidden Creek Homeowners Association?
Well, if I may just really quickly run through just some of the key points so
Tell
we can
me
settle
what
that.
your relationship is first, so I understand how you fit into this puzzle.
I'm sorry, did you say how does VIS fit in the puzzle?
Yes.
Yes,
What are
well,
you?
we don't. As far as the claim goes, we do not. We were not actually managing the association at the time, nor at the time that the check was received. The association was self-managed and acquired management services to assist in their daily operations. So that's when we came in.
When did you come in to manage?
I have a quick question. Can you guys hear me okay?
What's that?
Can you hear me okay?
I can't hear you okay.
I've been messing with my audio setup ever since I broke my audio a couple nights ago. I didn't know if it was coming through okay. Does it come through?
I haven't heard any problems.
All right. Everyone who just joined us, this is my dad. We have a few more people here than we did at the start, Dad. So I'm just, introducing you. Yes, this is Dad. Definitely not Cromwell. You can see his last name is definitely not Cromwell. So yeah, there's that. So yeah. All right. Let's keep going. Dad, do you have anything to say about the case right now?
No. I'm getting a kick out of watching the head of the homeowners association, the guy in the top right, all of his comments when the judge is kind of yelling at some of the other players.
Yeah, he doesn't know what he's doing. He's not an attorney, and I'm guessing he just signed up for the position and was given it. He's not an attorney. He doesn't really know what he's doing, but he does try his best. I don't know.
I'd even go a step further. Is that first of all, it's very typical, and whenever he gets money, he's going to probably keep it. I don't know. He's probably running the books okay, but the guy that's suing him is really disorganized. He doesn't have his act together, and he's not putting on a very good case at all.
I agree. All right, let's keep going. That's perfect. Both sides are not really doing a good job. The judge is trying to put together all this mess when neither side is like, I don't know.
The judge is doing a great job, I think, of being patient with all these characters.
That's a good way to put it. All right, let's go. I need some water. I'll be right back.
The Hidden Creek Homeowners Association.
It actually was May of 2023. The conversation about managing the association started sooner than that, but it wasn't until May of 2023 that we became collective management fee and actually became engaged.
Okay. All right. So, and your thought then as to being named as a defendant on this June 30th of 2022 allegation, what's Viz Group's point of view?
As far as this litigation goes,
whether you should be named as a defendant.
No, I absolutely should not be named as a defendant here, and we are definitely asking for this to be dismissed for VIS, and I can certainly go through some of the key points as why we believe that's the case.
Okay, as to your motion to be dismissed from this lawsuit, tell me that. Go ahead, tell me why you believe it should be dismissed from the lawsuit.
Thank you. VIS Group is a Washington corporation which was first retained by the board of Hidden Creek to assist with the management of the condominium in May of 2023. VIS Group had no involvement with the Hidden Creek when the insurance check upon which the plaintiff's claim is based was received by association. Though the HOA funds were transferred to an account over VIS has control shortly after HOA's board retained VIS. VIS has no authority to release any association funds to anyone, including the plaintiff, absent direction and authorization from the board. There is no basis for the plaintiff's claim against VIS, much less against Mr. Kian, who is an officer and registered agent of VIS. Instead, the plaintiff clearly has abused the small claims process provided to
I don't need
legitimize
that.
litigation.
I don't need a comment on whether someone should file a lawsuit. I just need to know why you think you should be dismissed from the lawsuit. So you weren't there on June 30th of 2022. You didn't come into being, stop it. I'm talking to someone. It's distracting. We have one recording and I'm not going to have people interrupting each other. I've told you a third time. I don't want to do it again. All right. So, Viz Group came into management with this Hidden Creek Homeowners Association not till May of 2023. You're saying you weren't involved in the issues previous to that. You're saying that the Homeowners Association, do you hold their money? Is that, I need to understand that better. You said money was transferred. What does that mean?
So as a management company, we certainly have access to the bank accounts for the homeowner associations, but we do not take action or release funds unless we're expressly, authorized to do that. So at the time of this transfer of funds, we were not on board, but that is to say that the bank accounts eventually came across and we became managing the financials.
And you require a board action directing you to release funds to anybody, to any person, to any agency body.
Yes, unless standardized contracts that are covered in our management agreement, for the most part, situations like this would require board authorization, most definitely.
Okay. All right. And then, so Ms. Anderson.
All right, I will explain it. Hold on. We're good. Connection's holding up. The guy that's in the court, the what is it called? The person that files the lawsuit. I can't think of the right name.
Plaintiff.
But is it a plaintiff in a civil matter? Is it still considered a plaintiff?
Plaintiff is the one that files the suit against the defendant.
Okay. So the plaintiff is in the court personally. You'll see him. He'll pop up every once in a while. He's already talked a lot at the beginning of the video, but he's suing the HOA, and it's a giant cluster because everyone's pointing fingers at everybody else, and the plaintiff put like 13 defendants on the lawsuit because he didn't know who to sue. So he sued everybody that's named that's ever been on the HOA forms. So that's why you have all these people on the screen when the guy on the top right is the head of the HOA. The person at the bottom is in charge of the managing company that manages potentially the HOA. I don't know. Really don't know what her position is, but
they took over the management 2 years later in 23, 2 years after this has happened. So they're the current managers.
There we go. So there was water damage to the plaintiff's property that came from the HOA's common room, is what they keep saying. Common space, common room. And his unit was damaged by the water, and he didn't get any of the insurance money, but the HOA did receive the insurance money. So he is suing the HOA for the insurance money that they received. That is what's going on here. But neither side has any idea really what to do. They're just...
I just noticed a question about whether or not the HOA was dissolved. The HOA was in place, and then it had a temporary period of time to where the Secretary of State did not have them signed up on record, and then they got it reinstated. So the HOA has always been in place. The property manager is the ones that has been hired to manage the properties. That's different than the HOA. Hope that clarifies some things.
Yeah, I mean, you said it better than I could. This is why I brought you on. This is perfect. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
All right, hopefully that cleared it up. It's still as clear as mud because neither side knows what they're talking about because we don't have attorneys here. but the judge is still trying to get through
Judge is doing a good job of getting it all organized.
it. She's trying.
Let me turn to you. You need to unmute. All right, Ms. Anderson, you're named as a defendant in this lawsuit, and I'm wondering, do you believe that you should be a defendant in this lawsuit? Do you have any? That's the issue I'm trying to deal with.
I do not believe that I should be. I did not become a board member until late, I don't know exactly the month, but late 23. And we did not have actual officers.
So Ms. Anderson, you're
Just nobody break the news that I'm about to take the LSATs. Nobody tell my dad that. He doesn't know that information yet. So, shh.
really difficult to hear. There's background noise and then it's really faint. What device are you working off of?
I'm sorry, would you repeat that, please?
Is it a laptop? Is it a phone? Is it a tablet? What are you working with?
A computer.
Okay. You're going to have to speak up very loudly. If you know where the microphone is on there, I need you to get very close because you're very faint. So Ms. Anderson, you started on the board when?
I have a friend that's sitting next to her and she's trying to check her volume to see if she...
All right, this isn't me. This is the audio of the person that's talking. Don't worry, this only lasts about another minute, and then they're just going to disregard her because she doesn't have any part of this lawsuit, but it does take a little bit of audio struggle to get to this part, through this part. I should have actually edited this out.
Increase her volume. And here's the okay.
Maybe you can say something and we can see.
She said no to that she should not be a part of this because
I need to hear from Ms. Anderson. To hear from Anderson and not somebody else. Ms. Anderson's the one under oath. She's the one named. So Ms. Anderson should answer my question.
No,
So
it's not. No, I should not be because I was not on the board at the time in 22. I only came on the board after VIS took over, and I resigned from the board in probably reasons. So I was only on the board for a very short time.
So maybe from about May of 2023 until when?
Until probably February of 24. February of 24.
All right, thank you. So that's why you believe you should be named individually. Someone who owes Mr. Gear.
Well, I have no knowledge of what went on in 22, even though I was an owner.
And you're no longer on the board?
I am no longer on the board. Correct.
All right, and then Mr. Naughton, if I could turn to you. So, Mr. Naughton, you're muted, so you'll need to unmute. And Ms. Anderson, you can remute so that you're not interrupting things. There's some real bad background. There you go. Mr. Naughton, you unmute.
Whoop.
All right,
How's
Mr.
that?
Naughton, as to that very focused question I'm trying to figure out. You're being sued individually by Mr. Begier on this claim. Do you have anything to say about you being sued individually?
Yeah. Whenever this dispute happened, it happened well before I was on the board. I have absolutely nothing to do with this.
When did you come onto the board?
Well, whenever VIS began managing us.
Okay, they tell me that was about May of 2023.
Okay, then I probably came on, well, may have been May or June. So it was very soon after they took over.
Are you still on the board?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And so individually, you're a board member. Do you have any officer duties?
No, and I have no dealings at all with this issue. I'm not involved at all.
All right. Okay. So Mr. Rahala and Mr. Naughton, you can mute. Mr. Rahala, you can chime in and tell me that very focused question. You're being sued individually under case 37351 along with these other folks.
Mhm.
And your take on that being individually sued.
Well, it doesn't make any sense to me, but the money went into.
Well, tell me your association with the Hidden Creek Homeowners Association. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
My association?
Yeah.
So I took over as president when the previous president sold.
Did that happen? Did you take over as president?
It was like at the end of 21.
Okay. And are you still president?
I am now, yeah.
And throughout 2021 till now?
Yeah, I think it was, yeah.
Yeah, no. This guy's being sued individually because he's the president of the HOA right now. He is the current president of the HOA. That's why he's being sued individually. Everyone else was just named as a defendant on it because he didn't know who to sue. Because this happened 2 years ago. I think that's what's going on.
Yeah, if he's being sued individually, then that would be not right. That's not illegal. He'd have to be sued the HOA, and he is the officer of the HOA.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
if he's being sued individually, he probably will be dismissed. But I think this is coming out to where he's the guy that's the plaintiff that's suing is really unorganized, and he's just throwing a bunch of stuff up against the wall and hopefully something sticks.
That's what he's doing. And the judge even called him out on that earlier when he brought a whole box full of documents that weren't filed in the lawsuit, but there's already hundreds of pages of documents that are filed, and she doesn't know how to get through them. So she's trying to pay attention to him, and then he's trying to admit new evidence while he's sitting there.
Yeah.
So she's trying to organize everything.
So I haven't been to small claims court, but my guess is this stuff goes on all the time, because this stuff would take 5 minutes for a judge would dismiss this case. So it's interesting that she's being this patient with everybody.
Just wait till the end. Wait till the end. I didn't know you would just jump to that conclusion. I think the guy's owed money. I think he's owed money. He's just not organized enough to be able to file his lawsuit appropriate. But I do think he owes money, and I think I'm jumping ahead, but even the president of the HOA, he's about to say,
well,
no,
we're
going to give him money. We're just waiting for receipts.
Yeah, I would take it a different way. He would have to prove it to me yet that he still owes money, because I haven't seen to where he has anything that he has a claim for.
You're right.
And he doesn't have any of his own rental insurance. So normally HOAs takes care of outside stuff, and the rental insurance takes care of inside stuff.
There you go. Sparkle Boots, thank you so much. And the plaintiff, crazier than bad poop. I'm not going to say you're right or wrong. I'm not going to say you're right or wrong, but yes, thank you so much for the super chat. You haven't even heard from the plaintiff's wife yet. She hasn't interrupted 10,000 times. She's about to.
And so I've been on the board for quite some time. And that's why my name has been on the governing documents or named as a governor. I will point out some of his exhibits have the name of Corey Nelson on it. In fact, there's a letter directed to Corey Nelson, who was a past president. And that's why I didn't know that our status with the Secretary of State was going to expire, because the letter went to Corey and not to me. And then when basically at one point everyone left the board, everyone sold their units, and I went to BIS to help to kind of reorganize everything.
So let me focus in here. If you were president during the time that Mr. Begier says that he had damage,
Yes,
June 30th, 2022,
yes.
Do you know? I mean, what's your opinion as to the existence of the Hidden Creek Homeowners Association in June 30th of 2022?
Well, the Homeowners Association has always existed. I mean, we're a condominium. All of us, we're always going to be homeowners. The registration with the Secretary of State expired, unbeknownst to me. And then when I started the conversation with VIS, they looked up all of the government documents and tried to make sure that we are that everything was above board, and they found that had expired, and so then they renewed it. And that's when that was in.
So you were still operating. You have been operating. You have some covenants and restrictions, bylaws.
In ours, we have HOA. Yeah.
All right. So, okay, now I have a better understanding of why everyone is listed here. So I'm going to make a decision here as to defendants, and then we're going to move forward as to facts.
Can I interject one thing?
Yes.
I got a document that was you're a year off as far as the date.
Of what? Just sit down and tell me.
Okay, this is the signature page of the VIS contract to be on board, the VIS. And it was dated May 17th, 22.
Okay.
And May 23rd by the VIS director. So you're a year off.
All right, well, let me turn back to
documents I submitted on online.
Okay, on yours, let me go look again. And I'm looking for a document created by the VIS group.
This is a signature
License
page of the
information?
contract. Here.
Who created it? So I know what I'm looking for.
They created it.
Okay.
This is a contract page of the signature of getting them on board, which we didn't even know they were doing at the time. We have no knowledge that they even employed that until we found this out. We never knew about them.
Did you file that with the court here in any of your information?
Yes.
Okay, I'm still looking for
So
it.
it's right here.
You think so?
I don't know. It's right here. I got it right here.
Yeah, I'm not going to take documents. You had time to file everything. I'm not going to start taking a bunch of documents during the trial.
2023 is off a year.
You are asserting that they were there. They were managing in May of 2022.
That's when the contract was.
So let me jump back to Ms. Henyon. Do you have anything to say about that? Describe.
Dad, I'm going to confess something to you. Are you ready?
Yeah.
I feel like this is how you would defend yourself if you would go to court to defend yourself. You would bring all this evidence. You're like, I'm going to win this. I got all the evidence. And I see a lot of this. I see a lot of you in this guy with how he's defended himself. Now, you would be a lot more organized. You would have them in specific folders and tabs and notes and everything. But you would be the guy that would bring a box of evidence without filing with the court. That's what I see.
Yeah, well, thank you for giving me that clown picture.
I No, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I can just see you doing that. That's it. Like you're like, I'm right. I know I'm right. I'm gonna bring every reason why I'm right. I'm gonna bring it and put it on the table.
I gotta tell you, when you're in court, it's a completely different than when you're making a defense to somebody just one-on-one. And you can have all your backup information, but you got to know what can get into as evidence and what cannot, and what's relevant data and what's not. And so he's presenting a lot of non-relevant data that is just inadmissible in court. And the judge continues asking him all kinds of questions, and he's not answering the questions. And she is waiting for him to be able to get the information, but he was supposed to file all of this stuff so that the judge would have it. And he's trying to bring in evidence right now, and it's way too late. She's just not going to admit it.
Exactly. So I take that back.
But I'm still glad to be in there somewhere, though.
Yeah, no, I take it back. I just see him sitting there in his golf jacket and acting all cocky in court, and I'm like, I feel like this would be my dad if he was representing himself. I feel like this would be him sitting in his golf jacket with all of his evidence, just be like, I've got this, I've got this, I've got this, I've got this. But yeah, but if anyone ever guessed where my mind came from, just listen to this guy. Listen to this guy. All right. Thank you so much for being here, by the way. We are an hour into it. We're only halfway through the video. You can stay as long as you want. If you need to go, you can. If you want to hang out with us the rest of the video, you can too. I'm no pressure either way.
All right. Well, thank you for that. I'll stick around for maybe another 15 or 20 minutes if that's okay.
Yeah, no, stick around as long as you want.
All right. Thanks.
Discrepancy that you started, Viz Group started managing May of 22 instead of May of 23.
All right. That being said, if anybody has any questions for my dad, if you guys have any burning questions about me that my dad will answer that I will not answer, now's the time to ask. Now is the time to ask. All right. Here's one thing I get a lot, Dad. I do want to ask you this because people don't believe me. Am I actually deaf in one ear?
Yes, you are. Unfortunately, you are. But you do very well with that disability.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I get asked and questioned about that a lot, so I'm glad it's on the record now because
it's a very good negotiating thing is just to say, what did you say?
Yeah, if I need someone to speak a little slower, I just say I can't hear them, and then they'll speak slower. It helped me out a lot in French when I was in high school.
There you go.
I would say, can you please repeat that? I didn't hear you. And they would talk slower, and then I would get the answer. Like, done. All right. That was the first question. But if anyone else has any questions for my dad, free reign. You can ask him anything.
Why can't Colin do turtle videos?
Oh, you turned your chat on. You figured it out.
I can read them. I just can't chat back.
Oh, all right. I got you. Turtle videos. That's code for bonus clips. That's kind of a long story. The people in the chat know what turtle videos are. So you can do polls through YouTube. I can make a poll, and there was one night where I said, "What do you want the bonus video to be tonight?" And I said, "Do you want it to be a sovereign citizen? Do you want it to be a landlord-tenant case, or do you want it to be a turtle video?" There was no turtle video. I just put that in there just for fun, but everybody voted on turtle video. Everyone voted on it. So now it's a joke.
There was another question: is how'd you get deaf? So when he was before he was 5, like around 4 or 5, he had some ear problems, and they put tubes in his ears. That was the thing that they did back then. And so he put tubes in, and he just kept on getting them, getting the earaches. And so he put so many times in there, and we happened to let an ENT do surgery, and the ENT, even though I take full blame for it, it was my mistake to let an ENT instead of an ear surgeon go in and take care of it. And so Colin's going to have to live with that the rest of his life. They took out about 70% of his hearing out of that ear. And he was actually having problems with the other ear too, but we thankfully he still has some issues with that, I believe. Don't you, Colin, with your other ear as well?
Yeah. But yeah. Both ears aren't great.
But you've lived with us so long that I think you cope very, very well with it, and you've learned how to adapt to that. And be quite honestly, like any type of disability, that makes us all stronger at what we do.
I like that. All right, here's one. What's your dad's cooking specialty? Now, this is you're asking me this question. You're asking me.
I bet I know what your answer is going to be.
All right, you tell me your answer, then I'll say if it's right or wrong.
I think it's either going to be the ugly omelet or vegetable soup.
You do make a great ugly omelet, and your vegetable soup is on point. But no, I wouldn't say that. I would say you're. So I'm going to answer this question this way. Dad, how many burgers do you think I've cooked in my entire life? If you could just guesstimate how many burgers I've cooked in my life, what would it be?
Oh, from Zips?
Yeah.
I don't know. I have no idea. I would stop counting.
Just make a random guess.
All right. 1,000.
1,000. That was about a day, but no. The thing that I love most.
Where are you going with this?
The thing that I love most that you made was when you barbecued burgers.
Oh.
I still can't figure out what you did to it. But you flavored the meat somehow that it was fantastic every single time. Even reheated, it tasted the same. And I still haven't been able to figure that out. And I've made over 1 million burgers in my life. I'm gonna throw that out there. Worked at a restaurant, a cafe for 20 years, and we went through probably 300 pounds of meat a day, and I worked there for 20 years. Just put that in your head. So, and I still could not figure out what you did. And I know mom actually put the patties together and you just grilled them. Maybe it was her. Maybe it was her secret. I'm asking the wrong person.
Oh, we're not going to give all the credit you just gave me to her.
Yeah, true. But she can't fight it now. Oh, that was a bad thing to say. I'm sorry. That was a really bad thing to say.
That's all right.
All right. There was another question about what is. I actually want to hear your response to this. All right, here we go. Can you read that? What I just brought up on screen, on the bottom of the screen?
All right. The worst trouble Colin got into younger than age 18. Oh. It's when his brother and he got flour out all over the floor, spilled it all over the floor, and made snow angels or flower angels.
I still have those pictures.
Probably the worst thing that he did, other than having to go to jail for bothering his ex-girlfriend.
Yeah,
I don't know if you were 18 years yet.
I was 19 at that time. I was 19. That's a different story. That's a different story. I was wondering if that's how you were going to respond to that, but I was wondering what your answer was going to be. Now everyone's going to be like, "What?" But I've told every single one of you in the chat that I've been. Every time I watch a video in Cincinnati and they go into the holding cells, like I've been there. I have been in that exact same place. I was there for one night. And I've told you guys this. Never told you the story. I never will. Because that's not a really fun story to tell, but I'm older now. Yeah. Anyways, any other questions? Hold on. What does Raven say? Colin loves talking. If you watch his channel, be prepared for 75 hours of him talking. Raven, we love you, Raven. Hopefully you're having a great night, Raven. But yes, I do love talking. I do love talking. My dad does too. I get it from him. I definitely get it from him. We could talk your night off all night long. All right. You want to continue with the video, or you want to keep answering questions? What do we got?
I'm okay either.
Flowers, no angels. Yeah.
Wait,
The flower angels were when my older brother and I were. I think I was less than 1. He was probably just over 1. And
no, you were walking.
Was I walking?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I was all rolling up on my belly in that video.
How'd you get into the flower? You couldn't have got into it on the top shelf.
Oh,
your brother climbed up and you got it.
No, that's Christopher's fault. That's not my fault. He's
blame
the one who got the flower. I just had fun with it. Don't blame me. He's the one. He's my scapegoat. But anyways, let's just say 1 and 2, maybe 2 and no. I've got pictures. I was less than an infant. I was still in a onesie. I probably couldn't walk. There was no way I was walking in those pictures. But we poured flour all over the floor. We made snow angels in the middle of the kitchen floor. So this was back before the internet, back before smartphones. My mom still had the audacity to grab a camera and take pictures of it. And then tell us how much it made her angry later on. But she still took pictures of it. We have pictures. There's proof. Flour all over the kitchen floor. Right after she cleaned for the entire day, because there was like a church group coming over for lunch or something.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, that's the story she told. I don't know if that. I guess yeah. Anyways, that's the flower story.
We don't have snow in Cincinnati. They were deprived kids, so they had to get the flour out.
Yeah, we have slush and ice in Cincinnati. We don't get snow. We do get snow. It's just once a year, and yeah, we got to go to school. They're like, oh yeah, you have 3 feet of snow. You're still going to school. Sorry. Cincinnati's like just north enough where you don't care about the snow, but not far enough south where it scares everybody. So no one knows how to drive in it, but businesses still don't shut down. So it's right there in between where half the population doesn't care, the other half does. Half the population's scared, the other half isn't. So nothing's closed, but everyone's terrified. So it's a great time when it does actually snow in Cincinnati. Is that about right?
I think so. I'm trying to figure out what this last comment means.
Read it out. Which comment?
Hang on. Sin is Fio liar.
Hang on. Sin is Fio. So I'm saying, this is Raven. I've known Raven for a long time. Hang on. I'm going to guess sin is Cincinnati. Cincinnati is
Ohio? Is Ohio.
That's probably what it is. Hang on. Cincinnati is Ohio, liar. Yeah. Cincinnati is Ohio. I didn't say it wasn't. There you go. No, Cincinnati is part of Ohio. Yes. But Cincinnati, is it really Ohio? No, it's its own state. Cincinnati is its own state. It's not Kentucky. Don't call us Kentucky. Don't call us Indiana. But we're far enough in southern Ohio. We're not the
same belt, not like Cleveland. That's the Rust Belt.
Yeah. Don't call us Cleveland. Don't call us Cleveland. We don't light our rivers on fire.
And then Columbus, being right between the two, is light years difference between the snow that they get and what we get.
It is. There is. Well, Cleveland has the lake effect, so they actually get real snow. So Cleveland will get 3 feet of snow overnight just because of the lake effect. Columbus gets the tail end of the lake effect, but if you go to Columbus and you're not wearing scarlet and gray, yeah, they're going to pretend that you're from a foreign country. So, just saying.
All right. There you go. We actually do have a WKRC instead of P.
It is WKRC. It's the Key Bank building now.
All right. If there's any more questions, I'll hang on. But if not, I'm going to check out.
All right.
Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. I enjoy the rest of the video.
I appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much for spending time out of your Sunday evening. So
I'll be happy to come on anytime.
If
Let me know what
anybody
your next
has-
real estate class is.
Thanks. No, next is the LSATs. I'm actually taking the LSATs, Dad.
All right. All right.
Why is that the response of everybody? All right. Go ahead. I just always imagine people are like, oh, that's awesome. Hey, I'm excited for you. Go take it. Everyone's like, all right, why are you telling me? No one's excited about it.
All right. I'll get it. Keep that aside. I'm really excited.
Yeah. All right. Everyone's saying thank you to you. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for letting me join you. Have a good evening.
You too.
Bye now.
Bye. All right. Well, that was my dad. Yeah. That's where I get all of this from. Well, him and my mom. But I get my hair from my mom. I get my face from my dad. I think you guys just saw that. All right. You wanna hold on. Yeah, I guess you're right. No, but my dad wanted me to be an attorney. When I was in high school, he always said, like, why don't you want to be an attorney? Why don't you want to be an attorney? Why don't you want to be an attorney? So I actually thought that news would be exciting to him. But yeah, no, I'm 40. No one's excited about someone who's 40 going back to school. So yeah, I guess you're right. My dad is awesome. All right. Remember a video that we were watching? We were watching a video. You guys want to watch this video or yeah, no. Yeah. I don't want to say my dad was wrong, but I think my dad was only like 85% right with that story from what I remember. But the difference between what my mom and my dad say could be very different, but at the same time it ends up in the same area. So yeah. All right, let's keep watching this video. Let's keep going.
Through my research, it is my understanding that the association started conversations on the management earlier on, but we were not actually engaged in. There is an onboarding process that happens to bring an association on board, including moving of the bank accounts and things like that, getting a resident list. And it's my understanding that we were not actually engaged until May or so around of 2023.
Okay. All right. We'll talk about all that. But so as to people who should be sued, it's clear to me, Mr. Begier, that you're suing Hidden Creek Homeowners Association, whether
That's Randy.
Mr. Begier. You're suing Hidden Creek Homeowners Association. You made that clear in your notice in 37351. Mr. Naughton, I'm going to dismiss the claim against him. There's no basis. I'm going to dismiss the claim against Ms. Anderson. There's no basis.
We don't know.
Stop interrupting. I'm ruling and it's a bottom line. So dismissing the claim against Ms. Anderson, there's no showing in your documents in what we've talked about thus far that there's an individual liability. Mr. Naughton, again, in what you filed with the court, what we've talked about today, no individual liability, no proof of that. The Hidden Creek Homeowners Association is going to maintain as one of your defendants. The Viz Group, I don't find that they have individual liability for what you're talking about here, so they're dismissed out. And then Mr. Rahala, not individual liability on this suit against Hidden Creek Homeowners Association. So what you're sued on 37351 is against the Hidden Creek Homeowners Association. Whether they filed things with Secretary of State is an aside. The issue is they existed, and that's your suit there on 37351. So we got that figured out. now we can actually kind of move forward with that claim. We may have to reset the 37352, the suit you filed against the individual liability, Mr. Rahala, to another day because it's already after 11, and we're going to see if we can't get through this today as to one suit. So what I need to know from you, back to you now, we're going to kind of get into the facts here, is as to this case against the Hidden Creek Homeowners Association. Let me get these documents up again. So those folks who are dismissed out, you can stay if you're going to be witnesses. I don't know if you were asked to be here as witnesses. I guess that's one issue, that you can stay, you can go, but if you've been asked to be witnesses, I would guess that you would want to be present. If you've been subpoenaed, then you would want to be present because you don't want to violate that subpoena. Mr. Begier, is there anyone here that you're going to ask them to stay? Have you put anyone under subpoena or asked them to be present here?
Who's
They
that?
can leave. They can leave.
Yeah, I just,
Ms. Begier says that they can leave.
yeah, I just tried to find out what
We
they are.
just really, we want to focus on Randy because Randy is the one to, that time, he's the president. And he was holding the insurance payment. The insurance, the insurance people came to do the evaluation, so we got the payment.
Let me slow you down here. Let me make sure, and then I'll turn to you first on that one. Seems like you've got some information on the facts here, but let me get to the documents that you filed and that the plaintiffs filed, and we can figure out. All right, so when I look at your notice, again, you're saying it has to do with water restoration repairs, which was already paid to Hidden Creek Homeowners Association by Farmers Insurance.
Exactly.
Defendant failed to pay the plaintiffs to recover costs and loss of the same. So Ms. Begier, what's your take on your notice? Why do you think you're entitled to money from the Homeowners Association?
Because, Your Honor, thank you for your your time. And what happened is because the payment is strictly for our unit. At that time, there was another payment they came to our unit to do the evaluation. Then they determined to make that 10,000 some money to pay to us. So that farmers insurance payment is strictly to us. But then they mail it because the insurance is through all the complex is insured by the farmers. So they through the HOA. So they made the payment to the HOA. But HOA, the president is Randy, and that time he's solo, plus some elderly being with him. So he's a solo. They even mail to his apartment or the unit we looked up is his residence.
So why do you think farmers should have paid it to you directly and not the Homeowners Association?
No. They paid to homeowner, but then he need to take that money to us.
And how much should have come to you?
Well, whatever the whole amount, which the farmer paid 10,400, I don't know exactly how much, but the whole amount should enter it to us. Okay. Because there's no other damage. The whole it's only for our unit. Our unit was because the neighbors plumbing then was intruded to us. So in the between, the neighbor's pipe was winning us. So anyways, the farmer went to our unit because it's only our unit had the damage. So that's why it's fully for our unit.
Right. And did you receive anything from your own insurance?
We didn't have insurance ourselves because when we bought the condo, they told us the HOA has the insurance. So we don't have any insurance ourselves. It's through the HOA, through the Hidden Creek Association insurance.
So you paid for all this damage out of pocket?
So we actually paid over. We paid 42,000. My husband, we stayed there for like a month and a half, 2 months to restore the unit.
Yeah, this is the wife. This is the wife. She's, decided to throw herself into this. Don't know why. the husband was doing, he wasn't doing a good job at all, but she's not really helping. I don't know why yeah, anyways. This whole case is a mess. The whole thing's a mess.
Let me look to your husband real quick. Is there any evidence? I'm not taking papers
No,
out
it's
right
already in the
now.
file. It's on
Tell
your
me
file.
where.
Okay, if you look on the file of 37351,
That's what
you'll
we're
look at
talking
something that looks
about.
like this.
All
And
right.
it tells you about from Finn Creek. It's, dear Mr. Randy Rajala, thank you for choosing us, providing.
Let me get to it. You don't have to read it.
Okay. That's the check
Alright.
of the 10,483.14. I even have a text
Thanks.
that he even said-
Again, you had the opportunity to put things into the
I know, but
record.
Oh, did you guys see the case with the HOA that's being sued by the entire what is this? What, I don't remember what city is in Michigan, but there's an entire HOA that hasn't paid water dues for what their water bill. They owe $250,000. I caught, I think, the first 20 minutes of the hearing before they took it down. So I can't tell you how it ended. But the entire subdivision of houses is about to be shut down because the HOA did not pay the water bill. And the residents of the neighborhood would pay the water bill to the HOA, and the HOA was supposed to pay the water bill. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. I don't have the end of it though. I only have, 75% of the hearing, so I don't know if it's worth playing. But yeah, it's that's kind of a crazy situation because now people that are paying their water bill to the HOA are now going to get their water shut off. You got to make sure who your HOA people are, but I need to go back and look for that video. It's a good one, but like I said, I don't have the entire thing. They shut it off before it's over.
And I'm not going to add now because I can't share it with the other side for them to evaluate it. And
see it?
I'm getting there. A lot of stuff in here.
My son sees it here on the screen. And I can play that here too.
Yeah, in this case.
Number 5.
Number 5. Okay. Thank you for your son's abilities. Number 5. Okay. Just got a lot of things open here. Let's close a few things. All right. Farmers Insurance, July 11, 2022. That's what number 5 is.
Yes.
All right. So attached as a payment, $10,483. And that's why do you believe you're owed this money from him? How's it talks about 2300 9th Avenue Southwest. Now, is that the whole condominium or yours?
No, that's one unit.
That's
They came to my
your
unit
unit.
and did this assessment.
Okay, this is July
Okay.
11. So,
And
all right, so that's the amount you think you're owed that
well,
you
that's
didn't
what's
get.
cash, farmers and everything. Yes, absolutely.
Okay,
Verified.
all right, 483.14.
I know that's, that's the court's jurisdiction.
All right, but at least we have something here. Replacement cost 11.7, depreciation 293, policy deductible 1,000, amount 10,483. All right, so this is. So I just need to read the rest of it. Clear the clock. It's just one page of some, but that's the first page. All right, so back to Ms. Begier, 10,483 from farmers went to the homeowners association, and it has to do, they say, location of loss, 2300 9th Avenue Southwest. And so you believe that Ms. Begier should have come to you.
Oh, Your Honor, also the Randy's attorney sent us a letter, even they admitted that they want to give us that insurance payment. But they think we don't want to agree just because they want to deduct from the insurance payment. So James, could you please give the judge the letter they sent? They admitted that they will give
They
us
have
the
this already.
insurance.
But
Okay,
this
so
attorney's not
this
here today.
is an offer of settlement, I
Yes,
take it. Yeah, I'm
yes.
not going to consider it trial. It's not
Anyway.
allowed in trial. So Ms. Begier then, 10,483.14. All right, and you believe you're owed that, and your damages you believe were far greater than that, and it should have come to you from the homeowners association. All right, so do you have something in your CCNRs or something that says that there's damage to a unit? I mean, I need to kind of know in why you're entitled to this.
You're talking to me?
Well, I don't want you both at the same time, but Ms. Big Ear seems to. Ms. Big Ear, do you have anything more before I turn to your husband?
Yes, because the payment is only to our unit because the insurance adjusters it's only evaluate our unit. There's no other damage, is our unit damage. Water is literally very high in our house. It's only our unit is damaged. So that's why the farmer came, they made the assessment. They paid that. So it's our unit is only, you should say our unit is so wet, it's just impossible to live.
So let me turn to your husband, Mr.
Yes,
Big
yes,
Ear. All right.
exactly, yes.
Yeah, I don't want to assume. Anything more? I think we've narrowed in on this claim now, the 10,483.14. I know that's beyond the jurisdiction, but at least we've got a number here.
That's what I wanted, and that's what I said when people went out there and talked me back. I said I would take that in costs.
Well, that, anything outside a court settlement isn't relevant to me and trial.
Okay,
so, and if anyone wants to settle this, once you get to trial, if I make a decision, that's a decision. If you want to keep trying to settle things, then we should stop the trial and have you go do that. Where are you on that issue, Mr. Big Ear? You want to stay in trial or you want to keep trying to settle?
I think the evidence is overwhelming.
Okay. All right, we're going to keep going. Anything else about why you think you're entitled to this money from the homeowners association?
I'm a man on the street like anybody else. I have a unit. We write a check to the HOA, which is Randy himself, going to his house, and it's for this complex. They came in my unit and they did their assessment and they cut a check instantly and sent it to him. He never told me about it until I found the hard way. Okay, and he keeps going off on this. So he's run the whole show for years. He's been the whole show for 7 years running the HOA. Okay. He acts like he just did it once in a while. It's not true. He's the sole guy.
Okay, so farmers sent them 10,483 and you didn't get anything from the homeowners association for your damages. Okay.
Never.
All right, well now let me turn to whoever is.
Yes, KCC did play this yesterday, and I saw that she played this, and I asked my dad to be on stream with me. I don't think she played it yesterday. I think it was 2 days ago. If she played this on Friday, was it yesterday? I don't know, but I know she played it, and I asked my dad to be on stream with me because this has to do with real estate. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I wanted him to come up on stream. I want to introduce you guys to my dad. So yeah, I'm playing the same clip she did. But yeah, but we got a nice perspective of someone who's been in real estate his entire life of the case at the beginning of it, at least. Now we're just watching it. Hopefully it ends soon, and it's not going to end soon. We still have a lot of time left.
Able to speak on behalf of the homeowners association, and would that be Mr. Rahala?
Yeah.
So you're allowed to bind the homeowners association in litigation? Is that part of your ability and responsibilities as the pres?
Yes.
Okay. So tell me about that. We've kind of narrowed into this exhibit here. You can talk about your exhibit, but this exhibit from Mr. Big Ear, exhibit number 5, which is from July 11th of 2022 to the Hidden Creek Homeowner Association, giving a check for $10,483. That seems to be the claim. So what's the homeowners association say?
Well, so he gave me a call, and
Who's
he was
he?
working. I'm sorry.
Who's he?
Mr. Brigade.
All right.
He gave me a call, and he was working with a plumber, and he wanted to know if he said that there was some damage to his unit, and he wanted to know if the insurance, if the condominium insurance would cover any of it. And I didn't know, honestly. And so I put him in touch with our insurance company. And I figured they would figure out whether or not what the damages are, what the damage to the common area is, so they would kind of figure it out, and then they'd either cut a check or they wouldn't. And I might add that at that time, in that conversation, he had mentioned that they had removed the bathroom sink upstairs. And I asked him if they capped off the drain, and he didn't seem to think that mattered.
So Farmers writes this check to the homeowners association.
Yeah.
And what then?
Well, so they sent a check. I didn't receive it. We had a guy doing our books who picked up all the mail and deposited checks. I think he picked up a letter from Farmers. He didn't think it was important, discarded it. And so the first check I did not receive. I forget exactly the sequence of events, but somehow I told the adjuster that he needs to send it to my address because in order for me to deposit it. And so that's where it was sent to my address. I then deposited it into US Bank, which is where we held our money at the time. And it went into the same
Homeowners
account.
Association held their money.
The homeowner association. It was made. The check was made out to the homeowner association. It was never made out to me. It never went into one of my bank accounts. And the money stayed there, and it's still there. And the first thing I asked them was to send invoices. They were not forthcoming. He said that he was going to do a lot of the work himself. I asked him for receipts. Those were not forthcoming. If you look at his exhibit, he says that he sent the receipts in April of this year. That's nearly 2 years after the original claim. Those were the first receipts.
Randy, stop lying, Randy.
Do not interrupt. I will hear from one person at a time. All right, Mr. Rahala, that's who I'm listening to.
Those are the first receipts that the HOA received. It was sent to VIS. I've never seen those receipts, by the way. They were sent.
And we're looking at an exhibit here, and I think it's exhibit number 6, plaintiff's exhibit, Mr. Fagir. Is that what you're talking about? It's kind of a little convoluted here. It's got Viz Group on it. It's got Hidden Creek. It's got type numbers, got handwriting. It's really quite a collage. Is that what you're talking about?
I don't know if that's what he sent. I never saw it. I did see that in his exhibits, and I think that was the first time I saw that. It's interesting, but
you're referring to the exhibits of the plaintiff, and that's why I was asking. So can you direct me what you're referring to?
Oh, no. Oh, no, there's a FedEx receipt that he says he sent the receipts and invoices to VIS, and there's a FedEx receipt in there. That was in April of this year. That was the first time we received any actual receipts. And when VIS got it, they told me they couldn't make heads or tails of it and determine what was actually from the damage and what was from the remodel, which is they were remodeling the unit when they were not damage occurred. So we have to be able to distinguish what was actual damage and what was from the remodel, because we're not responsible for the remodel.
You stop lying.
Stop, Ms. Begier, and I will stop this hearing and dismiss this case if the plaintiffs especially interrupt me again and interrupt anyone else speaking. because that's not how it works in court. And I'll have you mute Miss Begier, because that will help you not interrupt. You can say all you want then, and we won't hear you and you won't bother anyone. But you're now on.
These questions are answered. And it's what I was telling my dad. If you guys were here at the beginning of the video when I was talking to my dad. And he even said that the plaintiff probably won't be awarded any money. Yeah, just wait. I'm trying not to spoil it because this is such a long hearing, and I did a lot of spoilers already. So I don't want to spoil it. I really don't. But that comes up, Penny. That comes up.
Notice I have had half a dozen interruptions of people trying to testify and of me, and I've warned you enough. So plaintiffs, hold your peace. If I need to hear from you, I will turn to you. If there's something you want me to know, raise a hand, just like in school. And on Zoom, there's a hand raising function. But don't interrupt during the testimony, only at the end. So back to Mr. Rahala. So you were concerned about, you had this money in the Homeowners Association Fund. You were concerned about getting an accounting from the Begiers about what exactly their costs were and making sure it was the damage as opposed to a remodel.
Yeah.
And the first you got was this exhibit number 6. And it's fine that it's 2 years after. The Begiers, have 3 years at least to file this claim with small claims, so that's not an issue. But so this is the first you've seen something that has a claim from the Begiers of an accounting of what they're owed. Is that right?
Yes.
All right. Okay. And so then what did you do? What have you done about that 10,000? Just, it's still there?
It's still there. It's sitting there. And it'll sit there until either we have a resolution here or until we know that all of the damages that were caused by this water seeping into their unit was actually fixed and how much that actually cost. That's not an unreasonable request. And that's been our
So
request.
let me direct you to the exhibit number 5, the Farmers Insurance, July 11th, 2022. I'll let you get there and then we can talk about that.
Okay.
All right. So July 11th, 2022, the Farmers Insurance, it's on your phone, it's small. Number 5 in the plaintiff's exhibits.
Yeah.
Okay, and it talks about location of loss. You see that? RE insured claim policy, loss date, location of loss, 2300 9th Avenue Southwest. Now, is that, are there unit numbers or is that the whole condo or is that just Mr. Begier?
Well, I don't see a unit number on that on the location of loss. His unit number is A5. The losses to the complex and the losses, if we are responsible for replacement of flooring, subfloor, whatever it is, that needs to be documented. We need.
So was there damage to the common areas of the Homeowners Association on this June 30th, 2022 event?
Well, the common area in his unit would be the subfloor, it would be the actual structure. And so
okay.
I don't know because I've never actually been inside his unit, where the damage was.
So the issue is you're not releasing all or part of it because you haven't been given something that on behalf of the Homeowners Association that defines what it is that he's owed. He may be owed all of that or part of it or none of it, but you don't have anything to support the claim.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and so there was, the common area might be within the unit. So are condominiums one on top of the other? Is A5
No,
above one?
they're townhomes. And
Side by side?
Yeah, two-story townhomes, side by side. And
So
and there's, I believe, 7 units in his building, so he's kind of in the middle.
Okay, so you're not sure, so you don't know if there's damage to a common area? Is that what you're telling me?
Well, not having been able to see the unit or the actual contract, the invoices that he claims that he has. I have no idea what the full damage was or the actual repairs were.
Okay, all right. Anything else, Mr. Rahala, on behalf of the homeowners association?
No, I think that's about it. I mean, I'd love to be able to resolve the other this other lawsuit. And I understand you're running out of time, but
Yeah, we're kind of out of time, but we can reset that to another day. All right, there's nothing more. I'm gonna jump back to Mr. Bajir and ask a couple of questions. Mr. Bajir, A5, that's your place?
Yeah, I got a claim number that
Okay.
corresponds with that letter you're looking at.
All right.
And obviously, I
And,
can't fit all these pictures in, but you can look at these pictures of the damage. It's extensive.
but what I'm looking at is what you
Here's the
filed
photos.
here. Give me a moment. Look at exhibit number 6. It's a little, looks like a collage, frankly. And so I'm trying to figure out, what do you want
No,
me to
that was,
take
you're
from
looking at the
that?
$42,000
Well,
one?
it says actual cost
Yeah, that's
42.
that's the actual
But
cost.
what
of
is
it.
on this exhibit?
And those receipts went to this, not to him, on the FedEx that you've seen. It actually went to him several times. He
So
came out and
all
looked at the
these-
place many times.
So all these, I see receipts, material, it's labor
Yeah, I
materials.
have all right
subtotal.
here, but I can't put that on your computer and zip it over.
Okay, and so,
And I got the pictures of the damage, which correspond,
Alright.
which they generated the claim number from the insurance company, which is the claim
and so
number.
you're saying all of the damage was to you, not to a common area?
All was
or-
created from the common area that created our product, went into our unit, and I have the pictures to prove it, which is, they made this, it's farmers, which has the same claim number on that picture you want to see.
That's the claim number 501.
Yeah, right, and all the pictures are here.
That's what you
Very
want me to
graphic, very graphic.
Have you provided those
Yes,
pictures
he's
to
seen them many
the
times.
homeowners
Many,
association?
many times.
Just to jump
many
back real
times.
quick, Mr. Rahala, what have you gotten from Mr. Begier? Have you gotten lots of pictures from, and this, let me ask first, Mr. Begier, you say this is what farmers did,
Farmers created this document, photos of inspection.
and that's a farmer's document.
That's a farmer's document.
Okay, so then Mr. Rahala, then that's your insurance company for the homeowners association, apparently.
Yeah, that was at the time, that
Okay.
was our insurance.
All right, okay, why don't you hand that packet up, if you would, and then, all right.
Yeah, I can't put that on
So-
the computer, it's too much. Just like the receipts for
I
45.
don't
have it
know
all.
if I've seen that.
Well, it's
But I'm
not
not gonna
just
work with-
photos, it's also an email.
Yeah, it's-
Claim number is, claim adjusted not, all right. So then there's photos, and these photos are all of your
Yes.
A5 units.
Exactly.
Okay.
They created, I didn't create nothing.
And so these are pictures taken by farmers
On that day,
adjusted.
when they came in and did it, they did it right there, and they gave me a copy.
All right. So what am I to take from these?
Well, that shows the damage. He created it and did the claim and bidding us a note that sent the check. I said, where's the money? He says, well, send it right to Randy himself at his house. This is his home. Okay.
All right, well, we've gotten to the bottom of that, but that money is in the homeowner's account waiting for
Yeah,
something.
for the damage, it was extensive.
All right.
It's not just, you can see it's more than $10,000.
Is, all right, and so these were apparently, I can't tell when they're taken, but if this was the packet
That-
from them,
that's the
it would
cover
have been
sheet.
July 6th that they
Yeah.
did this,
Yeah,
or
that's when they
not
came out.
quite sure. PDF created on July 6th. Not sure when they took the photos.
Same day.
So everything was ripped up on July, when
Well,
this,
he came and did the inspection and he assessed that, the farmer's guy.
So all this was later than the time this
Well, I
happened.
can't do it instantly, but it'd be the next following time when it, come on out, and it came out.
Okay, all right. So lots of pictures of a place that has a.
Is anyone else bored? I need to hear it. Is anyone else bored? I know I've played this clip long enough where you guys want to see the end of it, but I am so bored of this clip now. Now I've seen this for the third time. I could change to something a little bit more exciting. You want to hear Judge Stevens being called a rapist? I can do that. We can change to that clip. But this is just going on far too long, and I'm getting tired of it. And we're going on 2 hours now. Just asking. Yeah. Can we skip to the ending? Yeah, let's skip to the ending. Let's just skip. Yeah, everyone's bored. Like this became very boring. Very, very boring. I just skipped like 20 minutes, so let's go.
So
Do you think we can finish the case?
Mr. Rahala, are you?
We're not going to learn the judgment because it's scheduled for another day. It's scheduled. It's rescheduled because the judge doesn't know what to do with all the documents that are put in. And hold on. Let me play this. This might be a good point to play. We're gonna see the end of it.
Available September 20th. Ms. Begier, look at your calendar. Mr. Begier, look at yours. September 20th.
I have a doctor's appointment that morning.
All right, that's
Okay, not that day. The 37352, just as to who's.
I'm so sorry, Aquanet. I hope when you said play to the end, you didn't want me to play straight through. Show the dog. The dog does come up. What? I'm guessing someone made a comment about the dog showing up. Yeah, the old lady puts up her dog. It might be right now. But this case got real boring. But you guys want to see something better? Bonus clip? Something. There's the dog. That woman right now is like, yeah, I know my audio sucks, but here's my cute puppy. It's a good boy. It's a good boy. He's just hanging out. Good boy.
All right, got that. So we need a copy for Mr. here. And then we need to talk about a new court date for the other claim that Mr. Begier has filed against Mr. Rahala personally.
All right, so I'm going to tell you how this ends. We're gonna end on something a little bit more exciting because I don't want to play the rest of this out. So they have an adjourned date, and the judge reprimands the plaintiff and says, "Bring your court documents, organize them so I can read them." That's what she says. The HOA guy, top right, he already agreed that he owed this guy money. And the HOA guy is looking for receipts. So this guy's gonna get money. Just we don't know how much yet, but you know what? That's the end of this one. I'm gonna play it. I'm just gonna load a different video. Let's end it on something a little bit more yelling and what do I got? Yeah, this is it. What's going on? How's everyone doing?
We'll put the defendant right there in the jury box. And Harper?
All right, so I leaked this video to Lone Wolf. I don't know if Lone Wolf's still hanging out here, but if Lone Wolf is still hanging out here, hello, Lone Wolf. But this was a little clip of Judge Stevens in the afternoon, and not very many people saw it. And I leaked it to him and said, "Did you see what this guy just said to Judge Stevens?" He said no, and then he made a video and it was out the next day. So I lost the opportunity to play this video, but this is an amazing video. Watch it. Just watch. Just watch.
Okay, just, the defendant is going to, we'll put the defendant right there in the jury box. And Ryan, you can have a seat there. We're gonna move forward without, the court will note, this is Desmond Harper, 2 cases.
Because I fast forwarded through a little bit of it. When they called his case, when Judge Stevens says, "Are you this person, Devin Harper?" I'm guessing that may have been the name. I don't know, but he didn't respond. He was just staring down at the table. He didn't respond. So that's all we missed. That is all we missed so far.
Or motions to revoke probation in 23 F 23-41343 and 23 CR 580. We will move forward on these motions to revoke probation. There are 3 new cases.
When I actually release the videos, yes, I can. When I'm doing them live, I can't because I have the volume all the way up. When I do Judge Stevens clips, I do when I release them as videos. Yes, I maximize the volume. I turn it from 100% to 200% because his audio is so low. But when I do it live, I can't. I can't do it on the fly. And I didn't make this video for a live, or I didn't make this. I haven't published this video to be released yet, so therefore I haven't changed the audio. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, I really wish I could change the volume. I can't. Not at this point. It's at max for me.
Aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, unlawful possession of a firearm by a felon, and another aggravated assault. Those will be placed on the trial docket. As far as the motions to revoke unadjudicated probation are concerned, what says the state in these 2 cases? Which are 41343 and 23 CR 580.
Your Honor, the state has a couple of the officers here to testify. The actual complainants in that, the defendant has been contacting via his mother both of the complainants on numerous occasions, probably 30 or 40 between jail calls and kiosk messages.
So he's communicating when he's in the jail, but when he comes out here in the courtroom, he's going to stay on mute, which is, the rules are built to work around that problem. And all that is admissible.
And he's asked them to essentially sign affidavits of non-prosecution and say that the weapon was there. The only reason why I'm saying this is the complainants are not here. And I spoke with one of them, said she's scared and she is not appearing. We're having a hard time getting her due to his communications through his mother.
Subpoena, and I'll just order if get him out of here. Get him out of here. We will work around it. You are inappropriate. You are inappropriate. Get orders. Obviously, he's abusive, obstructionist, and is attempting to manipulate the whole system by attempting to intimidate people. And we will do what we need to do. We'll have a hearing, leave him at the jail, do a Zoom, and then the people can be here, and so they don't have to be close to him because of fear from his obstructionist acts and his threats of reprisals or threatening behavior. And those people will be ordered to appear. Get me a court order. And it's obvious that the defendants, every defendant like this bullied their way through the system that they would control. And then the rule of law would not be applicable. The rules of law state these are matters to be heard and will be dealt with under the rules of evidence. And a defendant cannot take over the system by being rude and abusive. What are you saying, Mr. Matuska?
Your Honor, if I may, I did attempt to speak with my client this morning or just a minute ago, and he was not willing to communicate with me.
He's a grown-up. He didn't have to talk to you, and there's not much we can really do when they want to obstruct and try to take over the proceedings, which is not allowed. But either he's going to be following the rules, or he'll have to be put in a place where it's obvious he is aggressive and people cannot be in harm's way who are just trying to do their jobs under the rule of law.
Can we ask that he be ordered not to be able to use the phone except to talk to his attorney?
That's true. That will
Until
be
they're
ordered. He's not allowed to have any use of the phone privileges except for purposes of speaking to his lawyer. Thank you. That is only fair. What else?
Your Honor, do you want us to go ahead and start? Presenting?
Well, I mean, is anybody here?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, okay.
So, Detective Mindy Freeman.
Well, the defendant needs to be somehow
Some capacity,
present
yes, sir.
in a capacity.
Yes, sir.
And if he's going to be abusive, then we'll just keep him over in the jail and
Yes, sir.
do Zoom.
You have to enter certain findings to move forward without whatever you do in that regard, Judge. I know you're familiar with that, but it's out of the ordinary, so I just wanted to bring that to your attention.
I think one of the holding cells has capabilities for them to clear what's happening. But I don't know which one.
He still needs to see. All right, bring Mr. Harper out again, please. We'll see what he wants to do. Otherwise, we'll just have to redo it and put him in, do it through the Zoom at the jail. Mr. Harper, we're going to begin these hearings and you have to follow the rules of behavior. Do you understand? You can't interrupt.
I ain't broke no law. I ain't even guilty of the
Are you
charge.
going to follow the rules of, are you going to follow the
I'm
rules
not
of
gonna follow
behavior?
nothing. I
All
want
right.
a motion for recusal of
right.
another judge,
Then,
another courtroom. I'm not gonna sit up here and let you
all right,
just
here's what
give
we
me
will
20
do.
years for nothing.
Here's what we will do. You don't get 20 years for nothing. You
Yes,
get
for
20
nothing.
years for
You
your
don't
life.
get 20 years.
This is a
like-
debate. That's enough. If you're not going to be polite and you're not going to follow the rules,
I'm
then
not
we
gonna be
will
polite
hold
to my
the
trying to give
Zoom.
me 20 years, man.
The
I want you to just
Zoom.
get these other guys out the way. I'm following the motion. I don't want you to be my judge.
Okay,
You
the
said
motion is denied.
a lawyer said up here in line and said I threatened him. I have a CEO that is willing to come down here and testify.
You'll be
and-
able to.
Yes,
be
he's
able
willing
to
to come
be
down here
heard.
and testify that I did not threaten that lawyer.
We're going to do it this way. You will be held at the jail. We will bring you into the Zoom room. We will have the hearing. If you obstruct, we will mute. You'll be able to hear and see, but we're going to
I'm
have a
still following
hearing.
the motion.
You're-
You can't deny me to follow the motion for
It is,
refusal.
you
When
can,
somebody just said I
you
threatened
can
him
file.
and you said up here and told me that I'm violent. So
Sir.
you telling me you got my life in your hands.
You're
for
being
something
abusive
that-
right
I ain't
now.
even got a trial. Or,
You're
you gotta
being-
give me a trial. Where's my motion for discovery? Where's my
You know, if
motion
there
for
was a
where's
crime
my
for
can I pick
rudeness, if
my
it was a
jury?
crime for rudeness,
Man,
you'd
listen,
be-
man, I don't
you'd be
care about none of
guilty
what
of
you're
it.
talking about. I don't care
See,
about your courtroom.
I guess-
It's
I
unlawful.
know,
It's
that's
perverted to justice.
You don't care. That's right. You
I
don't
don't care about
but we're
none
gonna
of
follow
that.
the rule.
What are you telling me right now? This is
We're
my
gonna
life,
have
not
a
yours.
hearing. We'll be in the Zoom.
Yeah.
You file a motion,
I'm following the motion.
it's
I
denied.
guarantee I'll get out of here.
It will be denied
I
and
do
we'll
it
still
won't.
have the
Do it
hearing.
won't. I have NAACP and everybody
Anything?
up in.
Okay,
Yeah.
you're gonna
You
threaten
got a
everybody?
sex case, don't
You're
you?
gonna threaten
Don't you got I'm
everybody?
not threatening. Don't you got a sex
You're
case?
gonna
Why aren't you a
threaten
judge? You're a rapist.
That's all.
Come on, let's go.
He's out of here. And you're
I ain't going on.
vulgar
None of that shit.
and you're a vulgar.
All right. That's all I got for tonight, guys. There's still about 10 minutes left of this video, and all they do is do the rest of the hearing without him. We don't need to watch that. I'm tired. It's been a 2-hour live. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Giant shout out to my dad who hung out with me Giant shout out to my dad who hung out with us for at least half the stream. A little bit longer than that, but thank you so much, Dad. I don't know if you're still listening, but all right, you guys want to raid? All right, we can raid. I'm tired. I'm so tired. Yeah, I'll set it up to raid KCC. It's always about everybody. See, where's the button? All right, we're set up to. There we go. All right, KCC is set up. We're gonna raid KCC. I'm just gonna launch the outro from here. You guys all have a great night. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you for the super chats, everybody. And again, thank you so much, my dad, for hanging out for a little bit. Hopefully, you guys have a great night. Great, it's Sunday, so have a great rest of the week. That's all I got. That's all I got, guys. I'm sorry. I'm running on fumes.